ASEAN members urge to unite against conflict initiated by others. No new cases of breathing difficulties reported following air pollution case in Pasir Gudang. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm Adrian Seat. Prime Minister Tun Dr Mahathir Mohamad says it has been shown that the interests of small nations could be defended if they unite as a regional grouping, and Southeast Asia's ASEAN has been credited as one of the more successful regional organizations ever established. He said the region has long witnessed first-hand regional and global power play, but it prevailed, became much wiser and collectively guarded its independence and neutrality.
Though at this point in time the ASEAN countries may not be posting double-digit GDP growth, but it is not a regional affliction, but rather a global phenomenon. Within our midst, the Asian tigers are still prowling through though some may have been hibernating for a while. They will wake up and reclaim their rightful position in time.
As for Malaysia, the Premier said the country's external security priorities would continue to be self-evident. Speaking at the 33rd Asia-Pacific Roundtable in Kuala Lumpur, Tun Dr Mahathir noted that where there has been a willingness to negotiate with the shared goal of peace, there is hope. In relation to this, Tun Dr Mahathir also believes such prospects could exist in Myanmar's Rakhine state between the government vigilante groups and the Rohingya community. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says the government would like to sell Malaysia Airlines, but its identity as the national carrier is to be retained. Tun Dr Mahathir said the government had made a lot of changes to Malaysia Airlines, but each time it still kept on failing.
Yeah, but we have been making changes to Malaysia Airlines, and each time we make a change, they fail. So this time we have to be a little bit more careful in the steps we take to resuscitate Malaysia Airlines. It's not just a change of management. Lots of other things are wrong with the airline, which has to be corrected. Yeah, we would like to sell Malaysia Airlines, but we have to retain the identity as a Malaysian airline.
The Premier was responding to the call by two Malaysia Airlines veterans, including a former CEO, for an overhaul of the carrier's management after its failure for the fifth year to reach the top 20 in an international survey on airlines. They said Malaysia Airlines, which instead dropped 2 spots from 36 in Skytrack's annual World's Top 100 Airlines survey, had lost its class. Malaysia Airlines has not ranked in the top 20 since 2014, when it occupied 18th spot, dropping from 24th in 2015 to 34th in 2016, bagging the 31st spot in 2017 and 34th again last year. On another matter, Tun Dr Mahathir stressed that the air pollution in Pasir Gudang, Johor shouldn't have recurred after the first incident in March. He also said that the authorities are identifying those responsible for the latest incident.
Selepas insiden yang dahulu dia tak berlaku lagi, tetapi ternampak bahawa ada industri-industri yang tidak begitu prihatin terhadap keselamatan. Sebab itu kita perlu kenal pasti siapa yang mencemarkan iklim di situ dan kita ambil tindakan yang keras terhadap mereka.
The Premier said this after delivering his keynote address at the 33rd Asia-Pacific Roundtable at the federal capital. It was reported that authorities have identified 30 chemical factories which may have caused the second air pollution in the district. Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraida Kamarudin had said the case was not linked to the earlier incident, which was caused by toxic substances being dumped into Sungai Kim Kim. 4 people, including 2 Singaporeans, were charged in the Sessions Court for their alleged involvement in the earlier case. No new cases have been recorded as of this afternoon in relation to the health disturbances involving students and civilians following the air pollution case in Pasir Gudang. Johor Health, Culture and Heritage Exco Mohamad Kuzan Abu Bakar said as of now authorities are working to move the evidence linked to the case to the Quality Environment section of the Health Department for inspection.
Pemantau untuk Pasir Gudang wujud untuk kita lihat pada masa akan datang keperluan untuk kawasan buffer zone bagi kawasan-kawasan industri dan juga perumahan. InsyaAllah selepas selesai ini kita akan adakan mesyuarat mengenai pemantauan kawasan Pasir Gudang.
Mohamad Kuzan also denied claims from several quarters, including netizens, which accuse the state government of being slow to deal with the incident. In fact, Mohamad Kuzan reiterated that the state government and other agencies involved have congregated at the location since the case reportedly took place on Thursday. All educational institutes in Pasir Gudang, Johor have been ordered to close for 3 days beginning today until Thursday to allow authorities to work on clearing the air pollution in the area. Johor Education Director Azman Adnan in a statement said the closure involves 111 primary and secondary schools, 3 higher education institutes, 14 private and international schools and 347 private kindergartens which are registered with the Johor Education Department. Now, all principals and headmasters have been told to inform their students, teachers, parents and staff about the closure. The department will continue to monitor and help schools to ensure the students' well-being. Beginning last Thursday, students and others at several schools in the area were reported to have experienced breathing difficulties. The Department of Environment said on Sunday that as part of its investigations into the actual cause of the incidents, it would beef up its monitoring of an illegal dump site in Pasir Gudang and undertake checks again in the Sungai Kim Kim area, which was the scene of chemical waste contamination in March. The Education Ministry is confident that the Johor Education Department will make sure that students affected by the air pollution in Pasir Gudang, Johor are not left behind in their studies. Minister Dr Mazli Malik said the ministry has a standard operating procedure to follow in its matter and had dealt with a similar situation before.
Kami, Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia hanya bertanggungjawab di kawasan sekolah. Dan apa berkaitan dengan pendidikan, berkaitan keselamatan anak murid di dalam kawasan sekolah, itu tanggungjawab kami. Di luar itu, ibu bapa mereka punya hak untuk melakukan apa sajalah.
Dr Mazli was speaking to reporters after officiating at the National Level Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics or STEM Education Colloquium held at University Malaysia Pahang in Gambang, Kuantan today. The Kedah government has asked the State Health Department and Alor Setar City Council to conduct a thorough investigation to identify the actual cause of the occurrence of chikungunya cases in the district here since Sunday. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Mukhris Tun Mahathir said that the incidence of chikungunya was quite worrying even though it was still under control.
Mohon supaya Jabatan Kesihatan dan juga Majlis Bandaraya Rosmah untuk membuat siasatan yang terperinci supaya kita memahami apa punca dia. Jadi ada macam-macam dakwaan yang telah dibuat, tapi saya ingat biarlah pakar-pakar daripada Jabatan Kesihatan yang memberi gambaran sebenar mengenai punca berlakunya penyebaran penyakit itu.
Datuk Seri Mukhris told this to reporters after launching a Mixer 5 new facility at the Continental Tire Sdn Bhd factory in Alor Setar today. Last Sunday, 23 people living in a row of shop houses near City Plaza were suspected to be infected with chikungunya after showing symptoms of the disease such as a fever, severe joint pain and rashes. Kedah Health Director Datuk Dr Nurhizan Ismail in a statement yesterday said many of them received outpatient treatment at private clinics in Alor Setar and were reported to be in stable condition. Coming up, Datuk Seri Dr Ahmad Zahid to face new graft charges tomorrow. Welcome back. Tan Sri Megat Zaharuddin Megat Mohamad Noor has announced his resignation as chairman of the Federal Land Development Authority of Felda effective 30th of June. Felda, in a statement today, said Tan Sri Megat Zaharuddin informed his decision to relinquish the position to Felda in a statement yesterday. Now, Felda also noted that the new chairman will be named by Economic Affairs Minister Dato Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali soon as it is under the purview of the ministry. Tan Sri Megat Zaharuddin, who was appointed as a chairman of the agency on the 26th of July last year, has worked hard to understand issues faced by Felda, especially in relation to the Felda settlers. Several transformational plan initiatives were also introduced under the administration of Tan Sri Megat Zaharuddin. Felda also stated that Tan Sri Megat Zaharuddin has also set up and introduced Felda's new mission, vision and values so that the organization can be a driver to the country's progression. Meanwhile, when met by reporters at the 33rd Asia-Pacific Roundtable in Kuala Lumpur, Prime Minister Tun Dr Mahathir Mohamad said Tan Sri Megat Zaharuddin wanted to resign because of existing health issues.
Tak sihat, sebab itu dia minta supaya dilepaskan lagi. Kita bersetuju.
The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, has obtained a sanction to charge UMNO President and former Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr Ahmad Zahid Hamidi with new corruption charges in relation to the foreign visa system at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court tomorrow and at the Shah Alam Sessions Court on Thursday. The MACC, in a statement today, said Datuk Sri Dr Ahmad Zahid is expected to face charges under Section 16, Subsection A, Subsection B of the MACC Act 2009 and Section 165 of the Penal Code. Now, Section 16, Subsection A, Subsection B concerns a public officer soliciting or receiving or agreeing to receive gratification, while Section 165 concerns a public servant obtaining a valuable thing. Dato Sri Dr Ahmad Zahid has already been charged with 47 counts of money laundering and criminal breach of trust. The MACC statement also said Dato Sri Dr Ahmad Zahid has been called in yesterday when he was arrested for the Anti-Graft Commission to complete investigations on alleged corruption involving the foreign visa system. The former Deputy Prime Minister was subsequently released after that. In other news, Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor, wife of former Prime Minister, has been told by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court to attend the case management for a second graft trial involving a solar energy project in Sarawak on the 24th of July. Judge Azura Alwi made the decision after hearing an application made by her lawyer, Dato Akberdin Abdul Kadir, for Datin Sri Rosmah to be exempted from attending the court proceedings on that day. Dato Akberdin said the case management is merely a matter of internal formality. Judge Azura said she might only consider to exempt Datin Sri Rosmah's attendance for exchange of documents between prosecutors and lawyers, but not when it involves the transfer of case officially if the prosecution is successful in its application. Earlier, the Deputy Public Prosecutor Mohamad Farizul Hassan Bakri, who appeared with Deputy Public Prosecutor Po Yin Tin, told the court that the High Court has fixed 28th of June to hear the application by the prosecution to transfer the case from the Sessions Court to the High Court. Following this, Judge Azura ordered both parties to be present at her court on the same day to update her on the High Court's ruling in relation to the prosecution's application. However, she said Datin Sri Rosmah was allowed to excuse herself on that day as the court merely needs the prosecutors and lawyers to be present. Police have discovered a fake liquor lab in a double-storey house near Jalan Kajang in Pulau Pinang following the arrests of 7 Myanmarese men and an Indian man yesterday. Georgetown OCPD Assistant Commissioner Che Zaimani Che Awang said the premise is believed to be used to process and package fake liquors. ACP Che Zaimani said the syndicate has been in operation for the past 4 years. He added that the police are still on the lookout for a local man believed to be the mastermind of the syndicate. 6 men, including 2 locals, had earlier died of methanol poisoning after consuming homemade fake liquor. All the victims were in their 40s. Perak police have successfully solved a burglary case involving a house and a premise in Sungai Siput district after crippling the APU boy gang and Usop gang in 2 raids. The raids, which took place on the 16th of June, also recorded seizures worth 80,000 ringgit. According to Sungai Siput District Police Chief Superintendent Mohamad Kaizam Ahmad Shahabuddin, 4 men aged 20 to 35 suspected to be members of the Apu Boy gang were caught after robbing a residence in Taman Kledang. 2 men from the Usop gang, meanwhile, were caught on the same day after breaking into a car wash shop. Police are still on the hunt for 2 other men believed to be the masterminds for both gangs. In a media conference in Sungai Siput, Superintendent Mohamad Kaizam said both gangs have been active since last year and are being investigated under Section 457 of the Penal Code. Now, beginning 1st of July, all bus manufacturers are required to own a Certificate of Completion and Compliance, or CCC, as a way to ensure the safety level of buses. Road Transport Department, or RTD Director General Dato Sri Shahruddin Khalid said between 2009 and 2019, a total of 384 accidents involving buses have occurred. Dato Sri Shahruddin said 2 main aspects will be emphasized before the issuance of the CCC certificate, which includes the construction of the bus's main body and the installation of passenger seats.
Tetapi dia tidak dijadikan wajib kepada JPJ. Dia dulu PPP ni hanya ditandatangani oleh profesional engineer saja dan syarikat bas, dan dia tidak disahkan, dia hanya disign oleh JPJ mengesahkan dia siap. Tetapi sekarang ni kita mewajibkannya. Mesti ada PPP.
Dato Sri Shahruddin said the enforcement of preliminary checks at Puspakom will be implemented from the 1st of January of 2020. He said this to reporters when met at the Pioneer Coach Builders Sdn Bhd bus manufacturing factory in Port Klang. Based on statistics, a total of 61,734 buses were manufactured by local companies, while 4,494 were imported. And that item concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, ASEAN members urge to unite against conflict initiated by others. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more news updates. I'm Adrian Seat. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening. Thanks for watching.